Hello everyone, Professor Toybox here. I'm with the Mad Hatter in my Atlantis toy box working on my randomly generated dungeon adventure, Return to Atlantis. Last time we set up this sidekick door in this tree here, and we gave it a 50-50 chance of dropping a special move capsule or an enemy. And since last time, come in here to the toy box drawer, you can see that I've moved the locator back and slid the contents of this back a little bit so the sparks won't end up in the lava. And there's something else I wanted to explore with this as I got to thinking about it, if there was a way to randomly generate what this tree spits out. And so I want to look at that today. I wanted to do it in this toy box, but as you see on the right from the memory meter, I'm starting to get up to the red zone, and I've got a lot of replayers in here that are going to drop things down, so I'm really leery about trying to put too much in here and try to do this with this particular tree. So I'm going to go back to an earlier level, level 2, and drop one of these, and we'll set this up there. So I'll see you there in just a moment. Okay, I'm back in level 2, and I'm here on this little plateau here on the edge of the beginning of the level. And I think this is where we're going to go ahead and drop down our tree. And as you can see, we're right here near the starting canyon where we come in. So I'm going to put this tree door up here. And put this out about right here. And while we're right here, we'll go ahead and put down the locator. This is where I want the items to appear when they show up. And we'll come in here to spark mode and just make sure that green dot's facing the right direction. That looks good. Okay, so now we'll come in here to the properties for this. And I don't want to remove the townsperson on entry. I do not want to disable the door because I may have to test this several times. Normal response chance is 5. We'll put this up to 5, which means we have a 50-50 chance of generating something good or something bad here when we use this. But this time, we won't know what it is we're going to get because we're going to select the prize randomly. So now we'll come out here and drop a couple of object generators. And we'll start with those. And I'm going to hook both of these up to that locator. Like that. Okay, one of these is going to be for a health capsule, the other is going to be for a special move capsule. And what I want to do is put a randomizer out here. See if we can find it. There it is. Okay, so the tree door this time, when a normal response is returned, instead of going directly to one of those, we're going to come to the randomizer. And from the randomizer, new logic connection, random trigger 1, will invoke this to come in here and do item health capsule. And I'm wondering if I can save a little memory here. Random trigger 2. Hey, that's kind of cool. We'll do a special move capsule. So I don't actually need 2 object generators. That's nice. Okay, so now that handles the first 2 random trigger signals. What are we going to do for the other 8? I'm glad you asked. So we're going to come in here to Creativitoys, and maybe you didn't know you could do this, but we're going to drop a loot chest out here. We're actually going to drop 8 of these, but we'll start with 1. And I'm going to come in here and configure the loot. Now there's no mechanism here for doing random selections, so we have to do this manually, which is why we're going to need 8 of these. So I could do, for example, a mater hat for this one. And under properties, we do not want to auto reset or auto collect any of this, so that's all good. And we're going to connect this up to a locator, the same one we're using. And now when the chest is opened, it'll actually spawn the loot over here. But you don't actually have to hit the chest to open it. You don't actually have to physically hit the chest to open it. You can come in here to New Logic Connection, Random Trigger 3, and you can programmatically tell it to spawn its loot. So you don't actually have to open it. And then its loot will appear over here. Isn't that cool? That's something I just learned recently. So now I'm going to go ahead and drop down 7 more of these. And I'll be back in a moment after I hook all of these up and we'll test this out. Okay, I've got everything hooked up here. I've got the loot configured for all 8 of those chests and connected to the randomizer for all of the 10 signals. And all of the chests are hooked up to the locator over here, so they'll all spawn in that same place. I've also hooked up the explosive response returned to this enemy wave generator over here and connected that up to this locator as well, so that we'll get an enemy if that happens to be returned. Of course, you can put a randomizer on that as well and set up 10 possibilities for different bad things to happen. You could do some enemies, you could do a mine or something that shows up that would explode, or there's all different kinds of things that you could do besides just an enemy showing up. But to get the point across, we'll just demonstrate the treasure part of this today. So we'll come out here and come over here, Dopey. He's the sidekick I chose to use today. So let's go ahead and toss you in, and we'll see what we get. And we got a special capsule, so some kind of sidekick gear has appeared. Don't know what it is, and still don't know what it is, because it doesn't tell me. I have no idea how to change it so that it tells me what that was. If any of you do, that would be great to know. I'd love it if you'd share that in the comments. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope this gives you some ideas of ways you can randomize what you get from the Sidekick doors. Of course, you can also use this when you're activating machinery and things. Let's say you wanted to use the Sidekick door to cross a chasm. You could have this activate some replayers or a path tool or something that would put down some kind of path across there, or extend a bridge, or raise something up or lower something that would cover that chasm. There's so many different ways to do that. I'm making the Mad Hatter's head spin there. But anyway, possibilities are endless, and hopefully that gives you some ideas. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel or sign up for my blog to see what we do next time. I believe next time we're going to play through level 3 for the very first time. On my blog, you can also find logic diagrams and build tips for the different challenges that we make. And that's all for me from Atlantis for today. I'll see you next time.